Type in China, Iran, $400 billion, and you will see the $400 billion deal that was signed. $400 billion from China to Iran in March 2021, just 2 months into office, something China had been waiting for the 4 years of the Trump administration to do in order to have China pump up Iran's economy and get all the oil and gas from there.
$280 billion for developing Iran's oil, gas, and petrochemical industries, $120 billion for upgrading Iran's transportation and manufacturing infrastructure. 25-year cooperation plan signed in 2021 is a comprehensive agreement between the two nations. The program outlines China's investment of $400 billion in Iran over the next 25 years in exchange for a steady supply of oil to fuel China's growing economy.
Right. That's just China. Now imagine if the sanctions are lifted and you have the U.S., Germany, the United Kingdom, France. And first of all, that also massively threatens Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia's market share goes way down because they have to compete on equal par with Iran. The price of oil plummets because of the glut of supply on the market. This was the basis of the Abraham Accords, is that Israel and Saudi Arabia were drawn into this alliance, Israel on security grounds around the Iran deal, Saudi Arabia on economic grounds because of the Iran deal. And that's what laid the groundwork for effectively that new peace in the region. And it came obviously at the expense of the Iranian economy, but you have this larger proxy war playing out around that. And I do think that this drastic military action is because Israel sees it needs to make a time-sensitive military move on this because they have felt existentially threatened by the Biden foreign policy.
So they think that the Biden foreign policy has been to open up the sanctions again to continue Obama's plan to allow Iran to sell its oil. Did he do that during his 4 years?
He did not, because I think of how much they've been attempting to do this. You know, it's one of these, and mind you, Obama did not in his first term either. He didn't do it until the second half of his term because there is political blowback from doing that. There is, a very large, influential Iran hawk faction, both in the Republican Party and also in the Democrat Party. And so it does come at a cost of political capital, but it's a huge boon to other sets of donors who would make multi-billion-dollar profits from doing so. And so there is this tension where you want to time that political action to where there's nothing they can really do to you at the end. It's almost like a pardon list. This happened in 2015, for example, under Obama, but he had been working on it for 7 years. And so they've been trying to sort of do a Iran deal 2.0, but I think part of the problem is in doing that, it would send a lot of folks more to the Trump camp who were on the fence about Trump because now they're existentially threatened around this Iran situation. But what they've done is they've allowed China to circumvent that. And I think that they would do so in a second term or in a Harris term. Harris's her short list of national security advisors and National Security Council folks seem like they would want to enter into an Iran deal 2.0.
So it seems like the Israeli government is concerned with either the blob forcing Kamala into office. Likely that sounds what they're afraid of, that they're afraid that either she's going to win legitimately or disingenuously somehow that she's going to arrive in office and then sign a new Iran deal. So they're getting in now before.
Right. But remember, they don't even need to sign it at this point for a lot of this damage to accumulate. Iran is already, 20x'd its economy versus the Trump years. Because remember, not only did Trump get rid of the Iran deal, he also put massive sanctions on all this. This was the maximum pressure policy that Trump instituted. Biden took a huge amount of that back. If you remember earlier in the news cycle from about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Biden lifted sanctions, got $8 billion directly to the Iranian government that Trump had held under freeze. So Iran has been able to economically thrive under the Biden-Harris White House, even without the Iran deal 2.0. But if that were to go through, that would 100x multifold the problem from Israel's perspective.
And do you think the Israeli then government doesn't, a lot of people, this is all another conspiracy conversation completely, but just doesn't have that much influence over the blob?
I think it's a multi-factional dispute that's constantly in flux. Yeah, I think one of the things that the Iran deal exposed was NATO won that side of the equation in that fight in 2015. There's a constant negotiation. There's, There's the China lobby folks. There's the Qatar lobby folks. There's the UAE lobby folks. There's the Israel lobby folks. There's the British lobby folks. Nina Jankovic, for example, is the head of our disinformation governance board, is now a registered foreign agent for the United Kingdom, for the British Crown. So this is everyone is always constantly competing with each other on this. And in some industries, certain lobbies are more influential than in others. In the military space, some loom larger. In certain commercial industries, others loom larger. So it's a big multi-stakeholder thing.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.